All right. Hello.
Welcome to another tier list.
It's been a while.
This one
since we've
is
done
8th gen video games.
That's like current stuff going on. We get to see
Current gen, Xbox One,
all that
PS4,
good shit.
Switch, PC,
Yeah.
all that shit.
I didn't actually see any Switch games in there, but we might find one.
It might be like shit that isn't Switch exclusive or something.
Right. Oh, I saw one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
these are just like the most popular, and we get to rank them and see
Right.
like where we think they deserve.
we
to
have
belong.
obviously the top tier, the game of the generation, and the bottom tier, which is you forgot that it even came out.
Like
So
who's
this
heard
is
of
going to
this?
be ratings of how all three of us feel about the game. Anthony's here as well.
Hello.
So me, Cody, and
What
Anthony.
the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. Don't worry
And
about it.
we're not rating how we feel about the game or how we played the game and like it wasn't what I was looking for, so I don't like it. It's how the game is as
So
a
that
game.
we're gonna try our best to stay strictly. We know how others
No
view
bias.
this.
Try and stay unbiased as possible. That's why there's three of us, so we can get the triumvirate situation going on.
Okay, if that's the case, then we should put Yakuza at the bottom of the list right
No.
So this it's a bit too big, so we're gonna have to work like from here and hope that like this list shortens itself as the time goes on.
Yeah.
So we've got
Alright.
Game of the Generation, Masters of the Genre, Excellence, Underrated, Rating Deserved, Disappointing, Overrated, Disappointing and Bad, and then Remember This Came Out? Question mark.
Okay.
We'll start with Destiny 1.
now.
Alright.
I'm gonna put it in the middle from the start, just as a middle,
When
just to look at it.
when it came out, there was so much hype for
There was.
Destiny, and like it actually did pretty good for a little bit. But then people saw there wasn't a whole lot to the story.
Yes, the story is not great.
Base
The gunplay, good.
pretty good, pretty good.
The space travel part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like loading screen specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know if people wanted anything more than that from
Right,
space
right.
travel or anything like that, but it definitely wasn't anything special.
Right.
Multiplayer, very
Pretty
good.
yeah.
Very solid.
It's
Nothing
mostly
wrong
the
with it.
gunplay because that brings to it, and it's just
nothing wrong with it.
nothing wrong with it.
I would say
Base
this is,
Destiny kind of ass because it's lacking a lot of stuff.
I
But
feel like you're saying it's lacking, but I feel like it's only really lacking story.
I mean, it kind of was lacking like a lot of other stuff to do because it was just kind of like repeating the same like 3 or 4 quests just over and over and over again just to grind until you get higher level stuff.
Are you saying it's an incredibly repetitive game?
Yes. In base. When they started coming out with the DLCs, however, that's when it started to branch off and become like the big open game
Okay.
that we see as it now.
So
So I think
I'm cool with leaving it at rating deserved.
yeah,
I think
Um,
people say it was a 6 out of 10. I'd probably say it was a 6, maybe a 7.
yeah. I think
So
it was
I'm
definitely
thinking it's
deserved.
completely fine being right in the middle.
Nobody would ever say Destiny was underrated. Like
Yeah. No.
yeah.
I
As
might say
far-
it's overrated. I feel like that's as far as you would go is probably overrated or maybe disappointing and bad.
How
If
far
you
down
get-
is overrated?
Overrated is a 2 below middle.
I'm good with saying rating deserved, but I would say if it had to go any lower, disappointing but good. Like so I'll stick with
I'm
rating.
sticking with rating deserved unless Anthony has anything to say.
I think maybe you went lower, but other than that, I think it's
Why?
fine. I just don't think Destiny was great. It didn't seem too interesting, and Activision is never good, and they kind of ruined that game in my opinion. But I guess that has no bearing on the game itself. So
Okay. So we keep them at disappointing but good.
All right. Dragon Age Inquisition.
this is all you guys.
All right. So I think
You do yours. yes.
this game, as a game, is solid. The story is fine. It kept a lot of Dragon Age characters that people liked.
Right.
It got rid of some that people liked as well, but that's that's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though the combat was a big downgrade from 2. I think it got a lot slower, and the skills got a lot less dynamic and interesting. So I would put this at disappointing but good.
Okay. I feel like the combat stayed pretty much exactly the same. I don't see a difference between the two games. But that's just because I've been with the series for so long, and it's we've waited. Dragon Age fans waited for so long for a new game to come out from 2, and I think this game did a justice because the story was really there, and I like playing through it like multiple times. I don't see any huge faults with the story besides like a couple of side characters or a couple of characters in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Combat's always good.
Yeah.
Story's good.
I didn't
what are
like the
qualities?
army
The
side
army bit.
I didn't like the maintenance.
Hmm.
I dislike the fact that you had to like care for that entity as your
I
own,
actually kind of liked it.
and you had to like find random resource points throughout the map and
Mm.
like call them and like fulfill acquisition forms. It just seemed like busy work.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It was like a separate thing from side quests. It's like the miscellaneous stuff. I liked that. It's just stuff to do. It was like its own separate unit to go about.
It sounds like you're defining busy work, but it's
Okay,
busy work
yeah.
that you like.
I don't mind
I
busy
didn't
work.
like.
I don't mind busy work.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
So-
would say disappointing but good. I think you're going to.
I was
either
gonna say underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah. Like on a
So,
personal
are you cool with
bias
averaging out at just it's
rating
fine?
deserved, yeah. Like on a personal basis, I'd say it's excellent. It's not a master by far.
And there's no way it's the fucking game of the generation.
No. But rating deserved, I'd say yeah.
Ooh, Anthem? Remember when that
Anthem.
came out? That's crazy.
I actually, yeah, I kind of feel that.
I'm pretty sure it has to be this.
I kind of feel that.
From what I've seen,
I've heard a
Anthem
bit.
is not a good game.
it has to be. It's either this or
Oh.
it's just bad. Like straight
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
No,
No.
it's not. You didn't forget. It is just bad because
No,
people knows about this game because it's bad.
I gotta say something. Fucking. I saw Anthem. I was thinking it was a different game completely. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with remember this came out.
What if everything Destiny did bad but significantly worse?
Yeah.
So Anthony, are you keeping it here or are you keeping it at disappointing and bad? This doesn't
This-
have to be definitive. This is the worst ranking. This is not.
Are you
Right.
sure?
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I
sure
know
it
it says that, but that doesn't mean that you only put games here that you don't remember coming
Right.
out.
Well,
But I'm
whatever
pretty
the
sure it's
lowest
This
got.
is the lowest tier.
In that case, then
This is F
probably-
tier. F
Well,
minus.
what are some other ones? The light blue one again?
Disappointing and bad.
The one above it?
Overrated.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Probably disappointing and bad then, because I think there's some
I'm-
other games that are just fundamentally worse.
I'm sticking
Like-
with Anthem.
To be fair,
Okay.
I guess you are right that there are a lot of games that are just straight worse.
Yeah.
But this was just like what boring, right?
I-
Boring and poorly implemented stuff.
Glitchy, just like the mechanics didn't work because BioWare does not know how to do games like this.
Yeah.
And like everything surrounding the game in terms of like its external like promotion and like its DLC and whatnot just flopped.
I think
You've heard of like how like all of its roadmap shit got erased
Mhm.
and just
I haven't
abandoned.
heard much about Anthem
Oh,
after it came out.
like
I just heard, hey, it's really bad. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. And I was like, sick.
They had like a year-long plan of like events that they were going to do and like updates, and they abandoned it completely because it was all fallacy.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna keep it at the bottom tier.
I'm keeping it at the
possible
bottom.
tier.
Yeah. All right. So Bayonetta 2.
Oh, Bayonetta.
I
Okay.
need to play Bayonetta 2.
I
So,
do too. I need to play Bayonetta.
Bayonetta 2.
Have you played it?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So-
think it is a straight up lateral upgrade
Yeah.
to Bayonetta 1.
Okay.
The story is about the same tier, so like
Right.
not important, but it's there.
Yeah.
The combat
Kinda
is
cool.
more interesting,
Okay.
and the bosses are more varied.
Bigger combo.
I think it looks better, obviously.
Yep,
And the
graphics.
places are more colorful and bright, and I really enjoy that in an aesthetic of a game. The shop and stuff is pretty similar. I don't know if this is the one or if one is the one where you fight Rodon.
That's
You
one.
can fight them in both. I
In
think.
both?
Oh.
Pretty sure
I
you
think
can fight
too
them
they
in both.
increased that as well. They add something to it. I think
Right.
it's another form
I
that you can
think.
fight as well, and that's always neat. It's a platinum game, so the combat's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very stylish. I like that. You know, most Japanese games are very on the nose and like kind of extra, and that way it's either really interesting or really fucking stupid.
Right.
So I would put this at
Excellence. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
What's the one
from
below that?
Underrated.
Underrated?
Yeah.
No, I think Bayonetta 2 got a... Bayonetta 2, people really like that game.
Yeah.
I would put this at
I'm-
excellence. I would
I
recommend
have-
this to anyone if they've played at least one.
Right.
And then they'd be like, I like Bayonetta, and I'm like, then you're gonna love Bayonetta 2.
Right. Like I've only played Bayonetta 1, and from what I know from that, I would say if it's just an upgrade from it, like I don't see like you said, there's nothing bad with it. Or
Not that I'm aware of. I
it's-
think everything has been made better. There might be like soundtrack things, like maybe
Right.
there's not as many songs that are as good.
right.
You know, the soundtrack isn't bad,
Yeah.
but there might be
But it
like
has
for
red
me.
and black, so that's all you need.
But yeah, there might be like less iconic songs maybe,
Yeah.
but that's not really the soundtrack's fault.
Right.
That's just kind of how people.
I agree with keeping it as excellence.
Everything you've said, I cannot dispute or disagree with. All I can
Alright.
say is that I have seen that people like this game.
All right.
Yep.
Here comes the opinion train.
All right.
What's that?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne?
Bloodborne for
Bloodborne.
PS4.
I think, what are the top ones?
I'm keeping
Top
it
ones are
at-
Masters of the Genre and Game of the Generation.
Game of the Generation is top.
Generation top.
I'm saying it's a master
At least top 3.
because I don't know. I get to point. Wait, okay.
I
gotta
would
think
say it's
of my argument for
master,
a second.
except for the fact that a lot of the shit it implements, it fails to implement.
How so?
Okay, the trick weapons, neat, only like 15 of them.
Yeah.
There's a lack of variety. Bosses, they're neat. There's only like 12 of them. The aesthetic, it's overused.
They do swap
The whole like
aesthetics.
Victorian era shit.
Yeah, Victorian, especially
They do
Victorian with a secret. Every Victorian game.
I gotta
Vampire, The Order 1886,
Mhm.
any Sherlock Holmes game.
say, I've got to say, all of those.
I'm not saying the aesthetic's
right,
bad.
Right.
It's overdone.
All of those things, they do have second forms to them. Like the trick weapons, there's only 15, but they have their other form, so that makes them like 30.
That's
In a way-
that's what a trick weapon is. Yes.
Yeah.
That is a
But there's
that is
also
a fallacy.
that's I don't think that
In a
you
way-
can't
has
count all
legs.
those. You can't count the saw cleaver in like extended form. That's a completely different weapon. Like it has, like it is just a longer base form weapon. Like it doesn't go as
Or the
far-
saw spear, which is just the saw sword.
Like yeah, if you say
Still.
like the moonlight sword, I can see that.
Yeah.
Or like oh, the saw blade is two different weapons. Shut the fuck up.
They switch up.
But
their-
it does a lot of things really well.
Yes.
The combat is very good.
Very, very good.
It has the second best combat in the series, in my opinion.
I would agree. What's number one?
Sekiro.
Sekiro? Yeah, that's not. Really
I think they both
serious, but-
both these games have the same issue in that it lacks variety and aren't large enough games. Like I think overall as a game, Dark Souls 3 is better, mostly because it has just more shit to do. But I think most things
They completely fail to implement NPCs in any meaningful way.
yeah, absolutely, it is.
NPCs are useless.
Yeah,
Boring.
Closest I get to an interesting NPC is the one that betrays you and like eats everybody in the church.
Well, that's typical Souls shit. Like,
Right.
That's gonna. Well, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
But patches is in there.
It doesn't.
Covenants, why are they even in the game?
I forgot
Useless.
they're a thing.
Right, exactly. They're just PvP.
It's just PvP.
And it's not even like PvP with specific shit to it. It's mostly just PvP.
Yeah.
Because, there's like, the Dark Moons. You help people with Way of the Blue. And you're like, that's neat. The guys from the Covenant, they just help the guys from the Covenant. And then they get the worms. Or like the Vile Bloods, they just fight the church.
And like you give them in, like you don't get anything from it. Like you only need to give 2, and then you've completed that reward.
Yeah.
So probably
So I would say
no.
this is... That's as far as I would go.
Only in excellence? I'm still sticking with Master. With the
What's-
way I... That's more of a bias.
Masters of the genre.
And
Game of the
Master-
Generation.
I'm
and
fine
that's...
keeping it at orange. The one it's at.
Excellence?
Yeah. No, not excellence. Whatever it's in right now.
Which is
That's
excellence.
excellence.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, then yes, excellence.
And you would say Masters?
I would still stick with Masters for how much of an impact it had on, like... Think of this compared to a bunch of FromSoft games. This was from...
See, this is Masters of the Genre, which is Souls-like. It is not a Master of the Genre.
Right.
3
I mean-
is a Master of the Genre. It is the perfect form of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It may not be...
The most fun to play. But that's what
It is the best one.
Yeah.
It is better than 1. It is better than 2. So I would put this at excellence, and I would keep it at excellence.
Okay.
But it's like a strong
It's a
excellence.
strong excellence, yeah. So we'll keep it at that.
Would you say
EA's
Bloodborne is better than Bayonetta 2, Skylar?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, EA's Battlefront 2.
Probably lower
Is this
half.
Battlefront 2 or is this Battlefront 1?
It looks like Battlefront 2. Yes, it's Battlefront 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was the one that was good, right?
No.
It
of
was
them are-
better than 1. It was better than 1. I know that.
But it still did typical EA shit and also lacked a lot of things
Right.
people like about the game. It's not a very...
I think you're on EA. I'm not talking about EA.
Right.
I'm talking about the game.
But
Don't talk to me about
it's
EA.
Okay,
what the
okay.
game still does. They lock a bunch of stuff
It had a
behind
story.
their boxes.
People didn't like it. Super short.
People
pretty
didn't like the
cliche.
story?
No, people did not like the story.
Oh.
It like had that forced feminism shit where the main character is
Oh.
a strong female character.
Gotcha.
And it kind of took away from it.
Okay.
Lacked a lot of single player content. Like the mechanics of the game weren't fun, and it didn't release with a lot, so people do not like this.
This
game.
is a multiplayer made game, so I feel like your single player stuff. I'm not saying it's not valid,
Right.
but also it carries less weight. This was
But-
not made for single player.
True.
This was made for multiplayer.
Right.
But people still find it a very valid reason to play a game.
Single player.
Right.
or
Yes.
having,
But
having
I'm
a
not
single
buying
player?
Overwatch and then getting pissy at the lack of single player content.
The
I mean,
only
that is a
single player.
multiplayer
Star
the
Wars
only single
is
player.
a series about stories and stuff.
It doesn't matter what people think it is. It was sold as a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
If you pick it up and expect there to be a single player in a multiplayer game, it doesn't matter what it's about. You're being a fool.
Yeah.
It's still a portion of the game that you are
Right.
wanting.
I'm
to
not
play.
saying you're not wrong. I'm saying that it carries less weight.
If you want it just for the single player, you're a fool. That's what he's saying.
I guess.
But
you
the single
gotta-
player does affect the ranking.
Right.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying that it's less heavy than you might think it is.
I disagree, but we'll move on.
The multiplayer
moving
itself, the
on.
game is actually pretty good.
I
Is
disagree.
the thing.
I've never heard anything good or bad about it, so I'd say it's just fine.
Right.
Like being able to play as a
I think
Jedi.
if you don't hear anything good or bad, that means it's actually, I would think, better than fine. Because
Yeah.
usually people will rip a game to shreds for kind of bad things if they already don't like the company, right?
Right.
So people are looking for a reason to rip this thing
Yeah,
to shreds.
like you
And they couldn't find it.
never heard anything bad about like the combat in the game. Like
Right.
nothing.
Well,
And this was from people who
gunplay-
hate EA, who boycotted the game when it came out for like 3 or 4 months. Like people would they would tell people like, don't buy this game because if you do, you're basically letting them get away with it. And they like no one bought, or very few people bought it for like months. People would like try to sell it away on like holidays, and you'd see pictures where, like the shelf is full of that game. Every other game gone. So, I would say this game disappointing but good.
I would go even lower.
It's not overrated. I guess.
Don't
I
think
guess
of it
that's
as overrated. Think of it as
Worse than
less
disappointing
worse
but
than
good.
disappointing and good.
worse than disappointing than good.
Yeah.
Was it disappointing and bad?
I would say it was disappointing
No,
and
it
bad.
wasn't bad. It's
So
just,
you put it here.
yeah.
Okay, so that's
It's not a game
I think
that
that's a
people
solid
should
middle.
remember.
Right.
Well, like we're only
They need to
since we're
improve
talking
upon
about the game port. That's fine, but like what EA did to it, people should always remember.
But that's
Loot
not what we're
boxes,
talking
about.
locking everything behind the loot boxes. I mean, that's not just what EA did. It's implemented
That's
in the
most
game.
games. But
Most EA games.
does it with real money instead of fake money.
Yeah, like locking everything behind loot boxes, where you have to pay actual cash for it to like unlock things and be actually better
and the
at
game,
the game.
and the game did suffer for it.
Yeah.
Because like you would have to grind for exorbitant amount of hours to do it without hand.
Yeah.
But
Oh no,
that's-
you gotta play the game.
So overrated's good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll keep it at overrated.
That's such an odd title.
Battlefield 5.
Okay, so
Battlefield 1's people like. I think Battlefield 5 was the one people had issues with.
I never
Or
played
Battlefield.
Battlefield 5. If the multiplayer is anything like Battlefield 1, I'd say the multiplayer is very good. Because I played the multiplayer of 1 and I had a great time playing it, even though I died a lot. But I know I've heard people like kind of complain about Battlefield 5 since didn't it come out like right after Battlefield 1, pretty much like
Came out,
a
like,
year.
like, Probably a year.
Yeah, where like they had time
People,
to build
like,
on Battlefield.
Wasn't this
1.
like another World War One thing, but then they threw
Yes.
females into it?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
people were like, it's World War One, females aren't allowed to fight
Right.
on the front lines.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, you're being sexist. And
Yeah.
then that started a whole thing.
Yeah, that was.
But that's not what we're talking about.
We're not talking about.
Talking
that.
about the
We're talking
game.
about quality of the game.
This this gives me the air of a cash grab, but
Kind of. Yeah.
I feel like as a game, it's probably middle of the line, fine.
Yeah.
If Battlefield 1 is on here, Battlefield 1 should be higher because people did not like Battlefield 5. People liked 1.
That's fine. Yeah.
So if we,
So I
we
will
would have
say
seen
a
Battlefield
rating
1.
deserved.
I would move down to disappointing but good. Because yeah,
Anthony,
not as
any
good as
opinions?
I don't know much about that. I haven't played Battlefield since 3.
I would say
I think-
disappointing but good because
I can
it's like
agree
a
with
quality
that.
game, but like it's not one.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right. Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the
Ooh,
Wild.
let's go.
Skylar is ready to talk
Okay,
about this.
Skylar's ready to
Yeah.
talk. Let's fucking. I think this game's excellent. It's all open world. You can literally go anywhere you want at the start of the game after you get out of the main zone.
That's awful.
I think that's cool.
There's they give you one main objective and they
Yep.
give you a side quest and then they say do it,
Have fun.
and that's awful.
I think it's fun.
It's a lack of direction that for the average person I think would kind of give them nothing to do and they would be like paralyzed by a choice.
Most people who play
I
it, they
disagree.
like.
I don't
they
think
already
it's
know
that
a way to
broad
go.
of a system.
Yeah. Most people
I-
like they see something in the distance and they'll be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go to that thing," and then they go off from there. And then if they're like, "I gotta
I
go
suppose
do
it
the
can
main
be
story," they
overwhelming
go do
to
that.
be like, there's a lot to do, where do I start? But I think
Yeah.
that just comes
Like
with
when
any-
someone walks up
Yeah.
to you and is like, "Hey man, are you enjoying the shrines?" and like they're already laughing to their own fucking head because they know this is fucked up. And you're like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying. Like, I think they're pretty neat. You know, I hope I get them all done so I can like make sure I'm really ready for game." Yeah, there's 120 of them. Good luck. And then they laugh and they walk away. That's bad. That's bad
but
that people make fun of it because it's so fucking
you
stupid.
You don't need all of them.
But the average person is gonna be like, I should try and do as many as I can.
Right.
And then you're like, there's 120 of these things.
Then you won't.
And I gotta find them.
Then you won't.
And the map is huge.
I think Skylar is only this aggressive because he doesn't like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
saying,
think-
okay, look, let me get my shit out of the way, and then you
Okay.
guys can counterpoint it all you want. I don't
Okay.
care.
Okay.
Durability is terrible.
Right.
I think the way they implement durability is also terrible.
Yes.
You need to buff to play the game. That's bad.
In the higher levels, yes.
In any level. If you fight a
can't
moblin and
argue
it
with
takes
you.
you down to 95% or if it takes you down to 5% HP from one hit, despite the fact that you have 9 hearts, because moblins just do that much damage, that's dumb. You're fine on attack most of the time. You can kill people in a reasonable amount of time. Unless you have a lack of weapons due to the durability, in which case you've got shit because you've been working on your good weapons and they're gone now. So you've got something that does 5 damage to something with 800 health, so you're going to be there for 6 hours. Oh wait, no, never mind. You're only going to be there for 5 minutes. It's going to break. And then you just have to leave. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm out of weapons. I can't punch him. They won't let me punch. I have to leave. And then you walk away from that fight. So yeah, durability again is really bad. I think the amount of shrines and that sort of thing is bad as well. I dislike the weather system because they're either A, you have to make elixirs, which is, that's fine. I'm getting a little shitty about elixirs, or B, you buy very expensive armor pieces. And that's all I can think of for
What
right
does that
now.
have to do with weather?
Like cold and hot.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, also lightning. That's wild. Not a fan of lightning. That's it.
Okay.
That I can think of.
I'm
I'm not saying the game's bad.
right.
I'm saying it has things that make it really fucking annoying.
The only thing I can say about that is the durability. I agree. Durability's whack.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't break after like 3 hits.
Yeah.
It's pretty whack.
All right.
I like everything else. The weather system I'm fine with. It's implemented well, and it does like how
Unless
it
you're trying
makes
to
it
do the
more
blood
realistic.
moon. Fuck that. That thing is random.
Blood moon?
That
yeah,
is
I don't mind the
awful.
blood moon.
It is
I wouldn't go any higher than this.
What is that?
Underrated.
Don't look at the name. Don't worry about it.
Alright,
It's
Can we
below
change it?
excellence, but above rating deserved.
Can we change those?
No, we can't.
I'm-
It is a pre-made template.
Can we cog?
Oh.
Hit the cog. Ah, what should we change these to?
My God.
Underrated. Change it to.
Good.
Because there's no way
And-
Breath of the Wild is underrated.
So underrated is.
I think
bad,
if anything,
I
Breath
guess.
of the Wild was probably overrated. I don't think much of it's.
There you go. So we got good and we got bad instead of overrated and underrated.
Good.
And
Remember
then
this
make
game?
awful or like trash.
Sounds good to me. Actual game of the generation. Top tier game.
Top tier.
Okay, so
Breath of the Wild is good.
I would, in fact,
It looks good.
I would say it's
The
excellent.
open world is interesting. There's a lot of really neat movement options. Movement options. You can't climb faster than 1 mile an hour. That's awful. But I digress.
Unless you got a buff.
Unless you got a buff, but then I gotta be like, what does buffs? And then I gotta like climb a cliff to grab those fucking nitro shrooms, or whatever the fuck they're called. And then guess what? You gotta climb!
Moving on from him, Anthony.
What?
I'm sticking with excellent.
I think Breath of the
because
Wild is
I-
an overrated game, and I think it's just okay.
Just good?
Yes.
You think it's just good?
I think people like blew up more about it, mostly because it was on the Switch, and it was a Zelda game that wasn't a Zelda game.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
think-
I've been
I think-
outvoted. So
I think the best part about this game is the fact that shit can interact with each other in ways that you can't expect
Mhm.
unless you've played the game.
Right.
Like Anthony told me a while, like everyone has one really neat or creative thing they do. per like whenever they play this game. Everyone does one like really cool creative thing. Like you said, you made like a fucking floating balloon raft thing
Mhm.
in like a shrine, right?
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, like everybody gets one cool thing, and I think that's really neat. I've seen a lot of shit happen where people do like cool stuff in this game. Where they'll like fucking they'll be floating and then they'll like drop parry like 2 guardian lasers and like land on their horse or some shit, and you're like, that's neat. That's really cool. But other than that, like I feel like it has very strong flaws, and it's not even like specific parts of gameplay. It's the entire game. Like durability, you're dealing with that the entire game until you get like the Master Sword, in which case it's a little bit less bad, but still, like if you want to have any more fun, because like look, it's fine to use short swords, but you know you only get one combo, and after a while you're like, oh, I want to use something else.
Alright.
Could be more fleshed out, I guess.
We'll keep it at good.
Oh.
Let's move on to the next.
Celeste.
Celeste. Okay.
Whoops.
Celeste. I've only played the little bit of it. I've played as much as we played on the channel before.
I feel like if I was to go off of this,
Now you're comparing it to other stuff.
no. I was gonna say if I was to do what Anthony always does that we tell him not to do and read, I would say this is probably one of the best 2D platformers I've ever seen.
Really?
Oh my.
It has. The controls are
Oh.
tight.
He's
The theme is new.
Yeah.
The whole like mental health thing is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I may not care for it because I'm not the kind of person who feels sympathy for people with mental health problems, but it is a neat take. The clone stuff is at the very least an interesting boss. It's kind of the Super Meat Boy thing, Salt Factory.
Mm-hmm.
I already said the controls are tight. The dash thing adds a lot to it.
Music was good too.
There's a lot to play. The music is solid.
Yeah.
There's a lot to play. There's the whole B-side thing. It's kind of like Super Meat Boy if it was
Stylized.
I don't want to say better,
stylized.
but if it's if someone was able to be like, all right, we have Super Meat Boy, let's do what we can to make it better.
If Super Meat Boy was a 7, Celeste is a 9.
Kind of.
No, I would say like
Yeah.
if someone didn't have to, when Super Meat Boy was made, they were working off of like nothing, right? They like no one ever made a game that like speedy
Yeah.
and like gimmicky,
Fast
I
and
guess.
bouncy and just.
Because like Mario existed, but that game ain't nearly as fast as Super Meat Boy,
Mm.
or like Sonic or other platformers have existed, but not to that level with Super Meat Boy. So Celeste had Super Meat Boy to start with, a base, and then they were able to make their own unique game out of it, and I think that helps it a lot. So I wouldn't say it's like the best platformer I've ever played,
Right.
but it's one of the best.
Yeah.
So I would put that as masters of the genre because it's probably like that is if you get that again but with something else, you're gonna have a very good game no matter what.
I'm gonna have to say you're right, but it's also people's reception of Celeste. I never hear people talk about it. Like I've never heard anybody really talk
When
about
did Celeste come out?
4 years ago,
What was it?
5?
2016?
15, 16, 17. People don't talk about this game anymore because they've talked about it.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel-
kind of like me saying nobody talks about Super Meat Boy, and nobody.
Right, because everybody's done talking about
But
it.
like we know Super Meat Boy is like up there. Celeste came out in 2018.
2018.
That's
Okay.
okay.
Not played.
It won Indie Game of the Year,
Oh.
Yeah.
I believe, the year
Okay.
it came out.
Okay.
I have no quarrels in where you place this game because I've never played it.
Same
but
here. It's quality.
Like Zach has told me about it. He really likes that game.
Yeah.
And I've met of other people who like considered it probably one of the more solid games I've ever played.
Yeah.
So I will agree.
Okay.
Dishonored 2.
Never touched it. Never even.
I gotta
heard.
say it's rating deserved because I don't see anything bad with it. I've only played
It seems
handful of
I
it.
would say even disappointing but good because the game is fine, but
Yeah.
also people expected more and they got the same game.
pretty
with a
much. It's
different
it's
character.
pretty much just dark. It's Dishonored 1 just with one more character.
Right.
You could play as
So-
the girl.
I would say
Um,
that in itself, if you release the same game again, you already take a hit.
Yeah, like they
'Cause that's
they
just
add
bull-
in like
that's what's the word? It's bad business.
yeah they add in like maybe like
Look at you, Todd Howard.
2 more specials that you can do, but besides that,
When
it
you guys say
looks the
literally
same.
the same game, is it like
Same combat, same graphics, pretty much. Kind of a similar story where like somebody comes in, betrays you, and you got to go and save the world, get your kingdom back.
It follows the formula of Dishonored 1
Yeah.
to the letter.
Then, but we're not talking about the DLC, but like they come out with a DLC where it's called the Mark of the Outsider, and there's a chick who's going to hunt down like the outsider. That I would have said we can have an argument for. I haven't played it, but like we could have an argument about it. Dishonored 2 by itself, I think it deserves to be disappointing but good. Because like it's not bad at all.
We should consider every game as its full completed version as of right now.
Full completed version.
Everything that comes out with it as well.
Okay, if
I
that's
think
the case, then like Battlefront 2 should probably be a bit higher because it's like pretty solid right now.
Right now.
After it's been updated for like 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Anything else? And you said Destiny would go up to like probably
good.
One of these two.
Yeah, Destiny.
I'll keep it a rating
Destiny
deserved.
1, I would have kept it good. Anthem, we still don't know shit.
Anthem has not changed significantly.
All right.
Trust me.
Fighters. Dragon Ball Fighters.
Okay.
I like most things about fighters.
Yeah, base game, fucking quality. Story is fine. The fighting
does not need to exist.
Story doesn't matter. Yeah, you can go in it for the story. You can.
So Anthony, is that a big
fighting.
hit for you? That the story is worthless?
Story doesn't matter.
Like if you have a story in a game, like
someone out here buying Dragon Ball Fighters for the story.
Because it's not bad.
Okay, well,
it's not good.
Obviously not for any of these.
But Dragon Ball Z is such a storied franchise.
It is.
And therefore, with Star Wars, people are going to be looking for a story no matter what they buy, right?
He's destroying your argument.
I'm giving you shit. I'm sorry.
Anyways,
we're done with that. We're past that.
We're past that.
Fighting's
really fucking good.
Yep.
Like it's already at like competitions and stuff. It's competition level of how good it is, right?
Yeah,
no, it went to Evo the first year it came out.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you can. That proves how good the combat is in it. And just it's such a a nostalgia hit because it's Dragon Ball and it's got almost all the characters that you want
don't
in
you
it.
Say all the characters. It does not have Roshi yet.
It will though.
It is a fucking sin. They put fucking Vegito in before Roshi.
No. And moving on from the base game, all the DLC that they're adding. I gotta argue about the DLC. I hate that each combat pack is its own like $20, $30 purchase.
That's how every fighting game's been doing it ever
I know.
since this formula came out of we're gonna make you buy every fighter that comes out because we're gonna just keep making fighters.
I know. I hate it. I hope they're not doing that with Mortal Kombat because I bought like the season pass, and like if you buy the season pass, I expect like you get it. You spend that lump sum.
Oh yeah,
there
if you bought the season pass at launch, you get all 3 fighter packs.
Oh, it's at launch. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Each individual season has its own season pass, which is also what Rainbow Six Siege does. But we're not talking about that right now.
Nah. We will later though. I'm sure it's on the list.
It's called a season pass, not a DLC pass for free.
Whatever. So excellent. I think it's a good spot for it.
It is probably my favorite fighting game to watch.
Do you
think it is a master fighting game? Master class, top tier,
no, that deserves to go to
a tutorial of a fighting game.
That deserves to go to
this is not a fighting game you can just get into.
I would agree with Street Fighter V's ass.
I'm not saying Street Fighter 5, but a Street Fighter game.
Well, of the current gen, that's not gonna be any of these.
Right, so we won't worry about it.
Okay. Destiny 2.
It's
free. It's already good.
Yeah.
You can I know it's that's not about the game. The fact that it's free makes the game better because you don't
you're not
come in with that automatic cynicism of I paid $60. I better get $60 out of this. You know?
Yeah. It pretty much
better than Destiny 2.
It takes what Destiny 1 did and does it
better than Destiny 1.
Yeah. It takes what Destiny 1 did and does it better. In all aspects, I gotta say.
But it does keep certain flaws.
Yeah. Somewhat.
Like the side quest stuff.
The side quest
stuff. You're gonna get the same 3 side quests.
And then
the daily quests
the
to get money, again, they're the same shit.
It's a lot of grinding shit. They do put in the DLC, so they got a lot of variables in it and constant updates for quests and stuff like that. So
I would say it's good.
I would say it's definitely better than Destiny
good.
1. It's good. I had fun playing it.
You know what? According, if I was to read this, even though we're not supposed to, I would recommend this to someone. It's free.
This is why we should have made ours and then just split it into 5 categories. No,
just hit delete on this.
Yeah.
Make it excellent instead of saying excellence. That just sounds weird to me. Makes you sound like you're being fucking pretentious. Oh, it's excellence. Shut up. All right, it's a good game.
But here we go. That Destiny 2, I think, is a good game.
Detroit Human.
Okay.
This
I think-
game's a fucking joke,
This
but
game's a meme.
people wanted it to be a joke.
People wanted it to be a meme.
What,
It's
what do
a
you mean
it's
by
a
joke? Like,
It's
it's a meme.
it takes itself way too seriously for
Somewhat.
some of the shit it does. Like, you remember Indigo Prophecy?
58 stab
damn
wounds.
it.
Like, remember Indigo Prophecy?
Yeah.
Where the guy was being attacked by the large termites? That was serious. They meant that to be like a tense moment.
Yeah.
And we're out here dying because this man's being attacked by human-sized termites.
in his mind.
So, people wanted this
Um,
game. I think everything people wanted from this game, they got.
Yeah.
It is
the
very
s-
polished.
very, very polished. Yeah.
The
story
voice
was
acting is very good.
voice acting, the facial tracking, very
Facial
good.
tracking is
the
very
whole
good.
graphics and everything.
The story is very developed. It
Yeah.
branches. You see the branches of shit every time you finish a chapter. Where there's
Mhm.
there's like 17 different endings to this one interaction.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Did you
fucking
do
crazy.
everything? Were you able to talk to everybody? Did you do everything? Blah 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 blah. Which ending did you?
There's
do?
real consequences to your actions, or at the
Yeah.
very least, it seems like there is.
Yeah, like it'll change up the way the story ends.
It's a bit
little bit.
heavy-handed
It
with what it's trying to say.
Like super on the
It's-
nose.
yeah.
with the
Like, there's
the
a
story
black
they're trying to
robot.
portray.
Guess what? He's not treated too well.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's the whole bit.
They're
is
all
that there's
robots.
they're all robots, and none of them are treated too well because robots are second-class citizens because they're robots.
Yeah.
And then you're like, God, it sounds like black people to me.
One of them's black, one of them's woman.
I think
and then
it's
one's
some that could
a
turn
white
someone
guy.
off. The fact that the storytelling is
Maybe.
very like ham-fisted.
Yeah, but then they won't get into it because they don't.
I think this is good.
Now I'm trying to compare it to his other works, kind of like how we did with Bloodborne and Dark Souls and stuff like that. And compared to his other works, I'd say this is excellent compared to his other works because it's better. It's got a better story, better everything.
I would
compared to,
say
like,
I
Heavy
wouldn't
Rain
want
and
you to
stuff like
compare it to his other games. I want you to compare it to games
that. To games
in general.
That's hard because
I think this is a good
it's not a
game.
shooter.
This is above a 5.
This is not a
This is
shooter.
a good game.
Yeah.
I would say this is a probably. I think I would have a lot of fun
Compare-
with it. I
compare
think
it
I
to
would put it
other-
at like an 8.
Compare it to other games in
Just
the
from how
genre.
fun, like just from how like
Yeah,
how much of a laugh I'll get from some of the goofy stuff.
if we're gonna compare it
It's
to
got
games,
Mr. Krabs in it, so therefore it's at least an 8 out of
if
10.
we're gonna compare it to games, we got to compare it to other games in the genre, not
Right.
just games in general. So yeah,
Of the like
of these
more movie-esque video games,
Yeah.
Telltale-esque shit I've played,
yeah.
I think Telltale gets a lot of its weight from taking properties that people know and love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
this
Wolf Among
game-
Us is their only like unique property.
It's
I
not
think.
unique.
Oh, Wolf.
It's a comic book.
Oh, is it?
It's a comic
Oh shit!
book.
Never mind then. Oh fuck!
I don't think I don't think
I
any of
was
their
giving
stuff.
Telltale credit for some shit.
They have nothing
This
unique. They had
is-
their own unique thing that they had a story spun off of was Tales from the Borderlands.
I believe this is its own thing.
Yeah, Detroit is its own thing.
Maybe not the
Who's the
setting
guy-
of robots in the future, but like what
Right.
they do with it.
David Miyazaki made the story.
David Cage.
David Miyazaki made the story, and there we go.
I think this is a good game. I don't think I'd put it excellent.
Anthony?
I can only agree. Like I haven't played too many of these. I know people like it.
We'll
Hold
keep it at good then.
The new Deus Ex.
Is that the new Deus Ex or is that the
It's current gen, so it has to be.
Yeah.
'Cause Deus Ex,
Mankind
the
Divided.
first-
Yeah, that's Mankind
Yeah,
Divided.
the first one came out with.
There was some
previous
Deus
gen.
Ex game that came out within like the past 3 or 4 years that people fucking despised.
This one.
Oh, is
I'm
it?
guessing it's this one
Okay.
because this is current gen.
I do remember this game being not good.
I haven't heard anything.
I don't
can
think
only
any
compare.
Deus Ex game has been received particularly amazingly.
Deus
Most-
Ex Machina was
That's not a
what-
game.
Deus Ex
Human Revolution.
Human Revolution. That was good.
Was it received well though? Is what he was saying. Is that they
It
weren't
was received well. There were a few knocks in it, so it's like a 7. For
That's what I mean. Like, no, there's like 10 out of 10 masterpieces.
Right.
They're all mostly just okay.
I
pretty-
don't
yeah.
know anything about this game.
same.
I would say the game's probably solid, but at the same time, I do see Adam Jensen on the front, and I'm already gonna be like, oh,
Oh, he's edgy.
they're rehashing old shit, and they're giving it new mechanics.
Wait, Adam Jensen?
Adam Jensen is
That
the
might
main
be
character.
the really bad one then.
he's in all.
He's
of
in
them.
all of them.
Oh, is
he's
he?
the main character.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in like the old PC ones, but like,
Who's the dude? Oh, that might be him then. What the fuck am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh wait, never mind. I am thinking.
You know what? I don't know enough. I would keep it here.
Yeah,
From ignorance, I would keep it here.
from ignorance, middle ground, sure. I'm sure it's fine. Devil May
May-
Cry.
Is this the MC5?
The-
5.
This is 5, and this is the one where you play as
Nero.
Nero.
Nero,
Yes.
V, and Dante.
Yes, I have really only heard good things about this game.
Yep.
Um,
This game is the only thing that makes me believe that Devil May Cry deserves any clout.
Really?
This and 3
Oh yeah,
are the
like,
only games that
aren't the first two?
Why
games,
does
like-
Devil May Cry have so much clout? 3 of its games are ass, and there's only been 5. Not ass, but not good.
Yeah, like, aren't like 1 and 2?
1 is like not good, but it's also really fucking hard. 2, bad, like garbage bad. 3, people say it's really good. 4, no one talks about it.
is that just-
DMC, people didn't like it, but now that the brown hair Dante hate is gone, it's fine.
Yeah.
5
fine
is
with
the only one that's like, oh,
It
it's that
came
and 3 that are
in-
like good.
It came
and
in
for some
they
reason,
popped it.
people love DMC.
Yeah.
They love Dante.
They love
Oh,
Dante.
We've
himself.
been in this from the start.
It's wild.
They-
They've been there, but they're just like, this game's ass. It's like Sonic. Like, why is it's like the same thing as Sonic, but Sonic has had 5 times more time to be a fuck up.
Hey,
So okay,
how long have we
we're-
been going at
I'm on a
this for?
tangent. Probably 40-something minutes, and we're not even part way done.
40 minutes.
40 minutes, and we're not even halfway done. Let's party.
Okay.
So
Can we make a two-parter out of this?
Maybe.
I'll keep this tab
we
open.
might.
Yeah, we'll make a two-parter.
Anyways, I digress. That was about other Devil May Cry games. This game, I believe, is excellent.
I agree. I've
This
seen a lot
is
of it.
probably the best Devil May Cry I've ever seen.
It probably is like it most definitely is the best DMC. Like
More than likely, yeah. I've
This
never
game,
played...
I would put this game on the same thing as Bayonetta 2. Made by
Right.
Platinum. They're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
oh, Platinum made DMC5.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Well
nice.
then, yeah.
They helped with it at
Well,
least.
that's-
Not sure if they made it or not. They worked on both of these, and they're both very good.
Yeah,
I think they're basically interchangeable. They're
Yeah.
not the same game,
but they're...
but they're
Same
basically like the
quality.
same level of quality.
Yeah.
Because Platinum can't make mistakes.
That's not true. They made Nier Automata.
That's not
You
a
rude bitch.
mistake.
Doom 2016.
I'd say it deserves a good spot
Good.
because this is what fans I'm thinking this is what
This is
fans
very
wanted.
Doom.
This is very Doom. This is
Doom
just
2016
here's some-
is very Doom.
here's some metal, here's some violence. Go kill some demons
with the
have a
same
good
core
time.
Probably
weapons
does everything
that
it
you've
needs
seen
to
for the
do
last 30
right,
years.
So I don't think there's much
It
wrong
does.
with the game.
It's kind of like another one of those like Destiny 2 and Detroit. It does what the previous games did, just better. I don't see anything
But-
wrong with it.
I think it takes a different. I would also put this hit on Destiny 2. It's rehashing the old shit.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
because you put a shiny new coat of paint on it.
Right.
Well, I think that argument is it's a bit more excusable because it's been a while since like the last proper Doom.
True.
Like Doom 2 back in like early 2000s.
It was like
or
it was
something.
Doom 3, I
Doom
think,
3?
and that was like a 3D like scary game. I don't
Oh,
even
yeah.
think you play as a
People
Doom guy.
really hate that one.
Yeah, it's kind of bad.
So like I think since it's been such a long gap, I think that's excusable because it's
I
like
suppose.
it's
From
Doom
what
in the
me and
modern
Cody
age.
played, the game's fun.
Yeah. If you're
It's-
just there vibing
it's
to
very
music.
into its aesthetic, so if you
Yeah.
like it, you're gonna love it.
Yeah. And
I don't think there's much people hated about Doom 2016.
that I
No.
think that's why we got a sequel so soon.
Like
Like
the
after.
game-
So soon, it was fucking 4 years.
Yeah,
That's a
so
decent
soon.
amount of time
So
for a
soon.
sequel.
What was the difference between Doom 3 and Doom 2016?
Oh yeah, Doom 3 came out like fucking like a year after Xbox 360 came out.
Yeah,
so,
so-
do that math.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
That's
look
around
it
the
up.
same time. So
10 years.
And Jesus Christ.
Doom
Ugh.
3 came out in 2004.
Oh God, is that the 3D one?
Yeah, that's Doom. That's,
Would you put Doom at excellent, or would you keep it at good?
I would
I'd say
keep it at
excellent.
good. I've been saying good since the start.
Okay, just checking. I didn't. I wasn't listening.
I'd say excellent.
I don't know what the fuck this is.
Division?
I can't read that.
Why is Doom in good?
Hey, zoom in.
Excellent.
No. Control scroll.
Oh, sick.
Divinity something.
Oh, Divinity Original Sin.
yeah. 2.
all right,
Divinity
okay.
Original Sin 2.
Zoom
Alright,
that back out.
Yeah.
This is a D&D game made
Right.
when it does all the dice rolls for you and shit. So it's
Right.
basically like a old style like RPG RuneScape sort of shit, you know?
Okay. Yeah. Never played it.
It's
Didn't know.
it's very developed, it's polished.
right.
It's got a very long story. I think it's like 40-50 hours.
Okay.
The combat it's D&D stuff, so you can
Yeah.
basically it's not the same level as paper D&D because you can't do whatever you want, but it's very good. It's a lot of diversity in it.
Mhm. I kind of want to check it out. Like,
It's
I think it would be my
it's
kinda game.
very
It-
like, you know,
Drawn out.
same old sort
Yeah.
of shit. Middle fantasy. Oh man, there's this crazy new energy source that's fucking people over. You know, shit like that.
what's
So
the
you're
difference between like middle and high fantasy?
I think high fantasy is like more, uh, magic and
Okay.
such,
Okay.
and then middle fantasy is a bit more just
Grounded.
yeah, a bit less fantastical.
Gotcha.
It doesn't seem like my type of game.
I would say this thing is rating deserved.
This
thing
I
is
have nothing
Yeah.
against that.
I can't argue it, so I'd say a lack of knowledge will keep it at rating deserved.
Yeah.
I've
All
never-
right, Dark Souls 3.
All right,
I put that in excellent. Whoops, my bad. That's supposed to be in rating deserved so far.
From
I
what
think
we've
we've
said
already
before,
talked about this.
yeah.
Dark Souls 3 is.
I did when
is-
in defense of Bloodborne, but we didn't talk about Dark Souls 3 as a game. We talked about it as like a counterpoint to Bloodborne.
right?
Dark Souls 3, in my opinion, is still like the best Souls game.
Yeah.
Like of the trilogy.
Yeah,
I think
of all the Dark Souls, this is
It's extremely polished.
around
got
the time
A solid number of bosses, all of which are at the very least somewhat interesting.
when this game came out. That's when everybody started comparing shit to Dark Souls,
Not
like
true.
heavy.
No, I think they've been
Because
doing
like
that since
Not
CS2.
true.
Cuphead came out after it,
Not
and then they were
true.
like, "Oh, it's hard like Dark Souls."
Not true.
It's the Dark Souls platformer.
Yeah,
After Dark Souls 1 came out, people gave
I
that
never heard
thing-
it. Any
Outside
heat,
some
besides, like, some
stuff
small
that people like wanted back from Dark Souls, like its open world and maybe more or like vague like lore shit like that. I think mechanic wise, it's
It's the best
pretty
mechanical Souls game.
Yeah,
Alright,
The
Best of the
story, I think,
Dark Souls 1
is solid. Better
Yeah.
than 2. I would say equal to 1
equal to 1. Yeah,
from how interested I was in
how
it.
grandiose of a scale it is.
Grandiose.
Grandiose.
The areas were pretty varied.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't too much samey shit.
Yeah.
The weapons were really neat. The weapon art stuff was a really well.
that's
well
my favorite
implemented.
part. Weapon arts, those are really cool to
Mhm.
use.
I think this deserves Master of the Genre space.
think so?
Yeah, because of how awesome it came in. Like
But how does it compare to other like role playing
other
RPG
Souls-like
games?
games.
Yeah, like third person action RPG games. Like what other ones are available? Like I guess we would compare it to Souls anyway.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we're comparing it to other Souls stuff like Neo. We can compare it to and Sekiro and other stuff like
I
that.
think Neo has
this
better
is-
combat, but it's also more artificially difficult. But we're
Yeah.
not there yet.
We're not there.
I'm pretty sure Neo's going to be
Neo
in
is
there.
on the list. Yes.
Evil Within.
This
Oh, is that
game
one or two?
this is one.
Yeah.
2 is on
This
the
game
list
is,
as well.
I would say good.
I think
This is a completely respectable,
I-
spooky game.
It's a good game.
I find Evil Within to be less than average.
It's
Really?
it's.
Yeah.
I would say this is very Resident Evil 4-ish, but
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit worse. Like Resident Evil
It's
is
more spooky.
Resident Evil 4 is up here and Evil Within's like here. Like they're close but not the same.
I think at most
I like the characters.
Yeah, characters are good, combat's good.
I think the main antagonist is really like. There's a lack of explanation, and he seems just kind of
Kind of there.
until
Yeah.
like the very end where they info dump you, which
Yeah.
I don't really respect.
my main issue with
I've
Evil
played-
Within is how like technically insufficient it is. It has like dumbass like fucking black bars and like it locks a frame rate.
Oh, you mean
Okay.
it letterboxes and locks frame rates, so
Yeah.
you don't have a game that runs like shit? Yeah, that is pretty fucked up, isn't it?
I like the aesthetic of this game. I like the letterbox. The letterbox always gets me
It
going.
gives it that movie vibe.
It gives it
you
that
know?
movie
I don't
vibe.
like it. I
I,
think
like
it-
the
That's fine.
spooks. I'm really surprised I actually haven't finished this game. I've played a bit of it, but yeah, like I like this game. I think I agree with you. It's
I like
good.
the nightmare world thing it had going
Yeah.
on
I like that whole
more than I
concept.
would like Resident Evil 4, which is just Spanish mountains.
Yep.
Also
Here-
zombies. So you're
here's a
like, excuse
castle."
me?
But then
Here's
you
a
get into all those
castle.
fucking weird like bug creature things.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's a bit
Yeah.
dumb.
I would give it good. This is a good game.
2.
2.
The same
Oh,
game.
I don't know anything about it.
I think
Um,
it's
It might be.
It does some like retreading.
Yeah.
It fixes the issues I have. I was not a fan of some of the more technical, like I said, technical sides of it.
Okay.
It removes the letterbox and like it's more graphically sufficient.
It made the
Oh.
game less scary.
Yeah,
Oh, that's no fun.
I guess.
It made it more of a shooter.
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
can definitely see that.
It's
Also,
like
it ha-
imagine if you didn't have bullets in a shooter, and that's what this game was. Because this game, you know, the ammo's always been kind of scarce
Mhm.
to make you spooked. I would say this game is a solid game, but also it was like kind of came out and everyone was like, "Oh,
Less
it's-
atmospheric.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine." I thought you guys would be able to
Bring the spooks.
I thought you guys
some
would be
more.
able to make the
It's-
flaws better instead of like making
Yeah.
a similar game.
It's kind of like what Outlast 2 did to Outlast, I guess.
I think Outlast 2
Was
is
spookier?
significantly worse than
Okay,
Outlast 1.
significantly worse.
Where it's,
Instead of
yeah,
just slightly
Even
worse.
with, yeah, I would say they are 2 tiers apart, but I don't think that's that big of a gap.
No, they're close. All right, so
Fallout 4.
okay.
I've never played a Fallout game.
Alright, let's not talk about this one. Let's finish this one up real quick. 76.
76.
All
Fuck
right.
it. Yeah. thank you.
And Fallout 4. This
Um,
game is good.
This game is
I would
really good, in my opinion. I had
People
a
hated
blast.
the story.
People did.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The story was kind of boring.
They saw they was just like, oh yeah, nice plot twist, boy. Like,
Yeah.
I figured it out. As soon as I got in.
your player character
Kind of dry.
very dry.
Yeah. I don't like it
Also,
'cause they-
I like in New Vegas. In certain opinions, you had like 17 different dialogue options because
yeah.
there's like here's one for like every personality.
So we
variable.
don't have to.
And in Fallout 4,
voice
you
it.
had funny,
for-
good, bad.
and then question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would
Uh,
either have to be a sarcastic asshole, an asshole, or a goody two shoes bitch.
Yeah.
The
That's the one thing I really don't like about Fallout 4. Is
They
that
removed,
they voiced the characters.
They removed a lot of the like diversity in builds with
Yeah.
perks. A lot of perks stopped existing. I feel so like everyone's best build is just gonna be like probably like assault rifle.
Yeah.
And like I always did like in like the 5 times I played through the game, I always
Punchies.
did punchies. That took 15-20 levels to become good. So for the
Yeah.
first half of the game I was using a pistol.
Yeah.
And that really sucks. I think there's not many new enemies, are there? I've only played New
Not
Vegas,
really.
and they have basically the same kind
They're
of
pretty
enemies,
much the same enemies, yeah.
which kind of sucks. But also, I guess people
Was
weren't
New
really
There's a
Vegas
couple
the,
new
only,
animals.
the last Fallout game before 4?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 New Vegas 4,
Yeah.
and then 76.
Which we don't talk about 76. That's why it's in the trash can.
It's really fun.
Next to Anthem. We're not going to talk about it.
So I would
thought
say
you said my name. For
I
a
would say
second.
Fallout 4 is good.
Yeah.
I think most people would agree that sentiment.
I got to get away from the personal bias because I had a lot of fun playing it, but
Also,
a lot of people.
Do we want to count its final form all shit as mods?
No, mods don't
that's
count.
that's
Okay.
not stuff designed.
So
for
yeah, I
people.
think if anything, the mods will bring it up to excellent.
Yeah,
But since it's just
we're not adding that. You can mod Doom so you can look like a
You've
pretty
already
princess.
talked about it. Like the main issues I've seen people have with Fallout 4 is that its story is pretty boring,
yeah.
Yeah,
and like
but
it's too like it's too
They have good
simplistic compared to
companions.
some other Fallout
pretty
Fallout
good,
games.
pretty good companions.
The companion
story
system is new. I
story
think.
lacks, but the graphics and the gameplay and
Yeah.
the stuff that you can do in it and how big the map is, I think that makes up
Right.
for it. So that's why we're gonna leave it at good.
Final Fantasy 15.
I
Alright, this is
think-
me and Anthony.
Okay.
This is yeah.
Alright.
I'm sorry.
You
You
Sorry
can
about
you can put your 2 cents in, Cody.
Yeah.
But me and him,
you
know
guys
a little bit
do
more about
your
the game.
thing.
I have bias. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna let you know in advance. I bought this game day one,
All right.
so
I bought this game.
I was excited for this game ever since I learned about it like the year before it came out.
Oh shit. All right.
I think this game is excellent.
I would have to agree.
I
Right.
like the active combat system. I never liked turn-based. I think I think the
I-
addition of the new combat system is really cool.
Before we continue, have you played a Final Fantasy game previously?
Yes.
I
10.
have
Oh,
not.
I thought you said you.
I played 10.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 15 was actually my first Final Fantasy game, and it'll probably be my only one until 7 comes out. Again. 7 comes out.
10's fine.
10's really good actually.
10's solid. Yeah, it's good.
Is 13
I didn't finish it.
13's fine.
14's a multiplayer game. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even count that as Final Fantasy.
I think
I don't know why
actually-
it counts itself as Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy
It
Online
just
is
shares like elements.
Final Fantasy Online is like one of the biggest like Final Fantasy property things. So it's kind of like that is.
So every other game isn't Final Fantasy. It's just like
It's whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're not
I,
talking
um,
about 14.
I think
Talking
I think
about
I think the characters are neat. They're
Yeah.
fleshed out.
yeah,
I may not like them, but that's fine. You're not supposed
they
to
are
like every
very.
character that exists.
They are very fleshed out. Yes, I like the characters. Combat.
The combat. I like the active combat
Mhm.
system. I like the parry system's a bit easy.
Yeah.
I like the warping stuff. The magic stuff, it seems like
It's
it's.
magic.
I'm glad you don't need it.
I've never used magic.
I'm glad you don't.
I
need
never
it,
cared
because
to-
that's like
to
a
do it.
whole new menu and like a new mechanic you have to learn.
Did you know you could get experience magic attacks?
Yeah,
I didn't know that until after I almost finished the game.
yeah.
I
I really like the story.
Yeah.
I liked the god system thing, like where it was like, hey,
Oh, your
you know,
summons?
gain the favor of gods and use them as your summoning attacks, so you can do a lot of damage to a large group of enemies and stuff. I thought they made the game more streamlined when it came to grinding. I'm glad about that because you were able to figure out what you wanted and how you could get it quickly with the bounties. I'm not sure how it is in other, but like in 10, you just had to look. You had to find them. You're like, I really need this material. It comes from this enemy. Get in the submarine, boys. We're gonna be here a while. And then, you know, Final Fantasy 15 was like, oh, you need a monster part? There's a bounty for it. Just use it. We'll put them in an area for you, and you just fight them.
I think
I thought it had a lot of good secret post-game stuff.
Oh yeah.
It had a very good post-game with the secret dungeons and like the secret
I
the
think
boss
the post game
weapons
took me
and-
like I think base game probably like 70 hours for me, 70, 80, and then post game brought me up to 200. And I think I think it's one of the more fun games I played. I
Yeah.
like its action. I had no idea what was going on in the story at all. You could ask me story stuff, I would not be able to tell you.
It's interesting.
Okay.
I thought it was.
It's like it lost me after like Noctis's dad died and his kingdom got destroyed.
Spoiler
And then the
alert!
Arden was the villain, and I was like, when did you become the villain? When did this happen?
He always gave the villain vibe.
Oh, absolutely, but like
Okay.
I just don't know
Anyways.
what caused him.
I
I think there are some like
it has a nice ability. It has side quests that also enforce character development.
Mhm.
The DLC also helps with character
I've yet to play the
development, which is
DLC.
always
I
nice.
should probably I need to do that. I think some
It had a lot of side game, mini game systems, busy work, as you would say, to grind money and experience. You know, at the arena where you could get like special items and stuff. That's how I got my coral whiskers because God knows I'm not killing those things.
Oh my god, the electric cat things?
yeah.
Fuck those things. Oh my god.
It was
Why-
very pretty. It was very stylish. It was very over the top when it came to the action. And I think it knew when it was done.
I
Last thing?
God damn it.
Last time?
I think it falters in some like maybe like menu mechanical stuff. Like a lot of the text is small, the UI can be kind of annoying. The whole like skill tree was a bit
That's a Final Fantasy.
annoying to deal with.
That's just a Final Fantasy game.
That's not excuse. That's not an excuse.
I know.
It's an issue.
I know.
And I don't have any serious qualms with
End
this.
all be all. I would say it's
Excellent.
I'd say
I don't think
Not a master,
no.
but it's excellent.
Yeah. This is Fury, I believe.
This is our last one.
okay.
Well, we'll see.
I
So
think
what is this?
This is
like
Fury. It's an indie game made by French people. It's about a guy. This guy, he was imprisoned, and it's a 9-boss rush game.
That's neat.
It's
It
like,
is a bullet hell with.
If we still had
Like,
the thing up
melee
there, I would
mechanics.
have it. I would agree. I'd never heard of this game.
Okay.
I've never heard of this ever.
I think people really like this game.
Huh?
Like it
Well,
is.
People like the
People like
difficulty.
indie game boss rushes.
People like the soundtrack. They like the aesthetic, and they really like the difficulty.
Yeah.
I think the story's a bit
bare bones.
bad.
Bad? I mean, I don't know much about the story other than that you're just a prisoner.
I think there's long spaces in between bosses where you walk for 2 to 3 minutes at a time, and that's a boner killer.
For you, maybe. I'd be fine with it.
Some guy talks at you about story stuff as you slowly walk. There's a button to auto walk. There's a walk button, and that gives me not good vibes. I would say this game is good, or maybe rating deserved.
I'd say good. Mid to good. How long is the game? Do you know?
3 hours.
Really?
Did
Oh.
I mean, if you're
Logan
playing
and
without any
Ethan
huge
play
hiccups, 3 hours.
did Logan and Ethan play this?
They played through the first boss, which took them half an hour.
Okay, so I remember this now. Okay.
And that's it for our first one.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Don't wanna
nothing
hit one
too
more?
Like I said, this was our last one.
I just wanted to say because that one went by. pretty
Maybe we'll
fast.
fill up these other 3 in the next part.
Yeah. We'll keep this tab open and we'll start up again next week. Hopefully Anthony's still here.
Yeah.
He better be.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Later. I didn't talk much.